Everybody, what's going on? So we've added a new feature too, Big Lance off the yard. Super chat, super chat, super chat. A lot of people are always messaging me saying, "Hey man, I'd like to donate to the channel." And this is the way I can do it. There you go, Justin. I want to say much love to my homeboy Justin Case, man, for kind of helping me along with this. And anybody that what's up, James Perry? Anybody that would like to help us out on the channel, man, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. My family always appreciates it. Remember that, we are trying to do things for a better cause. We're trying to help everybody that we can with Big Lance off the yard. So, I've tried a few other methods. There is a misconception that YouTubers make a gang of bread, which is completely false. I have not made a single dollar off YouTube, and I've been on there for like 4 or 5 months or something like that. So it's not as lucrative as you might think. So Connor Grace, been busy. Hit me up, brother. Hit me up. Instagram. Oh, wifey checking in. Hope everyone is having a great day today, though, man. Hope you guys are having a good work day. I had to take off today, and that was hard, but it's worth it. See what's going on. I'm just checking in with you guys, man. Yeah, beard, man. Shaved. I do that every once in a while, but I got a beard. I always have a beard. Hey, Nicole, what's up, girl? So I hope that people are enjoying the content that's been coming out the last few days. I feel like I want to get back to the grassroots of what this channel was really about in the first place, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why I've been pushing more for the more serious talks again. I know I got kind of off track, but I think that people need to hear some of the stories, and they need to hear some of the positive reinforcement that we do offer here on this show, on this channel. Appreciate that, Darryl. I seen a comment earlier too, buddy. Nicole, sorry you got a headache. Which song, Ryan Montreal? Which one you talking about? Oh, thank you so much, man. Sweaty on pad, you too. Thank you so much, man. I want you guys to understand that this is something new for me, and I'm trying to, I guess, stay relevant in the YouTube world. It's a little difficult, man. A little difficult, but I'm gonna start telling some of them stories, man. I was afraid that I would run out of stories, but I got thinking about it. Hell, I've been doing time since like '92, so I got plenty of damn stories. I'm not going to feed into the I'm getting a lot of shots y'all don't know about. There's a lot of YouTubers who are trying to pick little beefs from me because they think I'm gonna shout them out. They think I'm gonna do this, or they think I'm gonna get wrapped up in it. Appreciate that, BK. That means a lot because I do. Like I said in the video this morning, we don't have the most subscribers, but damn, we ain't got the realest ones. You know what I mean? We do have the best subs on the internet. I don't care what anybody says. We got the realest people in the world right here. And if you are new to this channel, what you'll find here is a lot of people have an ear. You know, if you post a comment, you'll be shocked at how many of these people are gonna immediately come to your comment and start to try to give you advice. They're gonna try to help you out. So, and I don't see that on a lot of other channels. You know what I mean? A lot of channels are like, it's kind of lame, man. It's kind of a joke. But one thing about the penitentiary, is that it's supposed to be a growth experience. It's supposed to be time that you take to reflect and try to change whatever it is that's misguiding you in your life. And one thing I used to tell the youngsters on my last bid here, my third bid, I would tell the youngsters, like, look, you can spend all the time in the world that you want, you know, kicking that bobo or doing whatever. But at the end of the day, if you ain't working on self, then you're not working. You know, you're just standing still. You're stagnant. You're just making noise, man. You're irrelevant to the situation. The situation is the rest of your life, you know. And if you start to think about the rest of your life, and each and every move that you make is going to either be productive or counterproductive, then shit, you have to be vigilant on the choices that you make, inside or out. So I try to bring that same mentality out here to the street, man, and say, okay, well, if I make this decision, I know where it's going to end up. I could go out there and make that fast money again. I could go out there and lay people down and take their money. I could go out there and sell dope, or I can be a little more patient, man, and not search for that instant gratification. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm trying to project my advice to people, man. Appreciate that, John J. All right, Nicole, take it easy, girl. That's how I look at things, man. As I've grown in life, I don't automatically just disrespect somebody based off of view. Daryl, oh my God, man. Thank you so much, brother. Daryl Wyckoff, man. From the bottom of my heart, my friend. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. That's why I try to say to people, man, like, you know, our subs, if you are an individual like myself who really doesn't have a lot of family, oh, man, damn, Sweaty. Well, look, brother, I tell you what, if you just bought that guitar, and you want to do some lessons, I promise you, if you hit me up on Instagram, I'll send you videos and I'll teach you, man. Me and you, bro. I got you, man. No bullshit. I got you. You guys are amazing. But see, these are the people, you know, that like right now, I've never done this. This is the first I've done this, and I got goosebumps, man, because just of how genuine these subs are, man. You guys inspire me every single day. And, you know, when people are on that hating on me thing, Justin, thank you so much, man. You the man, brother. You the man. When people try to go with me in the comments and stuff, the subs here always have my back. So I make sure I always got their back. And that's what I mean when I say prison rules apply or in effect. And actually, it was a sub that it was one of the BLC that came up with that terminology. And we've used it. And a lot of people ask, why do you say this? Why do you say it? And I always say one thing, stay up and stay out. And here's a story on that. A while ago, about 6-7 months ago, I started a page on Facebook. It's called Felons Embracing Freedom. And that page is a closed group. You guys are more than welcome to get on there. And I'll accept you immediately. But it's basically where felons and people who are related to felons can go to try to get a better understanding. Sort of like what this channel is. And this is before I did YouTube. So a buddy of mine, we call him Paul Wall, he was like a very, very productive member of that group. He always had some good, positive things to say. But what happened was he relapsed, and I talked to him like 2 days before this, but he ended up ODing and dying. And it broke my heart, man. And a lot of people that have been here for a while probably remember the night that had happened, that I found that he died, that I got shit-faced and was on YouTube live playing guitar and shit, like acting crazy, really acting out of my character, man, because it just broke me so much that he had passed that way. So that is why to this day, well, anyway, he used to say, stay up and stay out. And that's what he'd always say. So that's where that term comes from. You know, I got a buddy of mine getting ready to come home. And BK, baby. Damn right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. A homeboy of mine I've talked about in some of my past videos named Brooks. And Mikey 81, man, much love, baby. Much love. I'm riding with you till the wheels fall off. Know that, baby. Know that. But he's coming home, and he is we used to call him the Chomo Slayer, man. And I've seen this dude bash more pedophiles than I can shake a stick at. But I'll tell you a story about him. He we're walking the yard one day, right? And he likes to drink a lot. He made the best wine in the system by far. He's a country boy from West Virginia, kind of between North Carolina and West Virginia, so he's country as hell. Funny as all get out. And he would make wine, and he'd break this wine at like 5:30, 6 in the morning and start bucking it. And I'd have to walk around and babysit this dude until he passed out. But we're on the yard one day, and in the Virginia system, you're allowed to buy Timberland boots. They sell his Timberlands. So he's drunk, and he sees this pedophile walking around the yard talking about, hey, Lance, watch this, man. I need me some new boots, man. Those look like about my size. Appreciate it, T-Killer. And I said, come on, man. We can't do that right now. It's early. You're drunk. You can go to the hole. He said, I don't care. He's drunk. He's stumbling. Rolls up on this dude. The dude's sitting there reading his little stupid book. You know what I mean? Thinking about touching people he ain't supposed to touch. And Brooks walks up to him and kind of pops him in the chest. Hey, homie. And I'm just dying. I got tears rolling down my face. I'm laughing so damn hard. And he says, hey, I appreciate you getting me them boots. And the pedophile dude was like, oh, man, I ain't, these are my boots. And Brooks was like, well, I'm going to do one more lap. And we get back around this track, them boots better be sitting right here on this bench. He said, that's your ass. And everybody knew, man, the type of dude Brooks was, man. He knew he was going to get at him. He's with the shit. So we go around, and Brooks is laughing. We're chopping it up. And we're so drunk that we forget that we had told this dude to take his boots off. So when we get back around the corner, we walk right by him, man. And it was hilarious. And we hear, hey, fellas. And this is on everything I love. This Chomo jumped off with his socks on and the boots in his hand and runs up to Brooks and hands in the boots, man. And it was like, I just don't, I don't want any problems. I was like, oh, well, you keep paying that tax out there, buddy, and you'll be fine, man. Caleb Guzman, much love, man. Much love. So thank you so much, man. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. How long we been on? But I want you guys to let me know, man. Whatever y'all want to hear about, whatever you want to see, this is your channel. I just put out what I think y'all want to see, and I put out what I think, what I think is going to be relevant. You know what I mean? Because if y'all don't like what I'm putting out, then you're not going to watch. But I also want to be somebody that people who might be in that situation, or people that might be having that hard time, they can watch it and watch the struggle, man, and see that somebody else is going through it too. And sometimes that could be motivation enough. That could be motivation enough to do a little extra to get yourself in, man. Sorry it's lagging a little bit, guys. Where am I from? I live in Richmond, Virginia, man. That's where I'm at. I was born in Virginia, moved out to Boston when I was young, and then moved back to Virginia when I was about 12, 13. So, but before that, I lived up north, man, and I got a lot of, people always tell me, well, you don't act like a Virginia cat so much. I got a lot of my swag, man, from the Boston cats, and I'm gonna tell you, them some of the most go hard white boys I've ever seen in my life, man. Why did I leave my organization? All right, so here's the situation. I was in an organization called Dead Man Incorporated, all right, from out of Maryland, started under the BGF. I rose to the top, man, in a matter of a couple years. Real quick, Big Mike, I did record it, but the video got erased. We're gonna redo it though. We're gonna redo it, man, because I want y'all to see, But that dude, Chris Link, he's on YouTube. He's a pro fighter, man. He's actually them dudes are actually were really taking it easy on me, man, for real. They're really taking it easy on me. They're both extremely good fighters, man. Y'all saying I'm lagging? All right, so I rose to the top of this organization. I put in a lot of work. There's videos on here to you new subscribers if you go back and watch that I've shown and shown charges of work I put in, violence I did. And between those three guys, they had a big beef. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was this guy moved, they got shipped to the feds. But once they got to the feds, it's kind of like it was just really disorganized. And each of them started kind of breeding their own stuff. I got under one guy, and what had happened is basically like the founders and pretty much the outside wasn't really respecting what he was doing. So a lot of their guys come down that were put underneath this guy are not recognized by the state that this thing started in. So they're basically like, you have a choice. You can either get right with this or fold. And me personally, man, so much had happened, and I had really dealt with a lot of disloyalty. And I started to realize that guys weren't willing to go to the extremes that I was. So I walked away, man. I'm 41 years old. I don't think the movement, although I respect the movement, I respect what it was supposed to be about. I feel like where I'm at, in the state that I'm in, it wasn't what it was supposed to be, man. And I'm not going to keep martyring myself. I put in a lot of work. And if you guys want, I'll start telling some stories about some of the work I put in and what had happened leading up to the point where I walked away. If y'all would like to see that, man, I'm definitely down to do that. Thank you, Jason. But, I mean, please don't assume that I have any there's no disrespect to those guys, and I have no ill feelings towards them. I mean, I understand where they're coming from, and they understand where I'm coming from. There are guys who weren't happy with my decision because, honestly, I was a good leader. I was a great leader for these guys. I was militant. I pushed a very structured way of life, and it just wasn't. These guys were more into getting high and like, kind of just off the chain. And as I got older and as I started to become, a more mature man, I didn't have that wild out. And when I decided to display a certain degree of violence, I did it because it was necessary. I did it because there was a purpose behind it. If I was going to go out on the yard and we were going to, make it shape, I was going to make it shape because I wanted to control a certain aspect of that yard. It wasn't because of any other reason. And now it's kind of like as I've gotten older, I started to actually get into I've started kind of getting into motorcycles, man. And I started to hang around a couple guys that are in clubs, man. And I'll be honest with you, I've really thought about getting on with a club, and I've talked to some guys that are, there's a lot of clubs in Richmond, and I love the lifestyle. I love the guy. I love the brotherhood. But that's another thing too, is that you have to choose, the right guys that you want to be around, because you can be around a bunch of knuckleheads that get you 100 year life sentence. Was we consider Woods? I mean, the thing about DMI was that in some sets or some units, there was mixed races. And now in mine, it wasn't. And that was one of the reasons why they were beefing. The guy that I was under, there was no, it was a white thing. You know what I mean? And please don't take that as we were racist, because it had nothing to do with race. Not once did race ever come up. But what it basically was that it was something that we could stand on that, helped us to survive in those institutions. But the term wood out here, I believe, is more of a West Coast thing, man. Like, we don't use that term that frequently here. Mecklenburg? Hell yeah, buddy. I was in Mecklenburg in like 2000, something like that. I'm sure DMI still is growing, General Tex. I don't talk to any of them anymore because of probation, and it's just that they'll violate me if I do talk to them. So I don't have contact with them guys. Not saying that's not really. There's a lot of guys that I generally care about and like in that organization, but I just can't right now because I can't risk my freedom over it. And if you go check out some of the John Jay, how you doing, homie? Much love to you and your beautiful wife. Hope you guys are having a great day, man. Great day. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of waiting till I get off probation, which I'm on shadow track now, so I'm just one more step away. I'm almost off. So that's another thing, is that I'm waiting to get off probation before I do decide to, ride with the club, man. So yeah, it's not exactly, Jason. It's more like just trying to survive. Some of those institutions in Virginia is not really a huge, a big violent, prison system. But there are some prisons that are. You go to Wallens Ridge, Red Onion, Sussex 1, which I've been to 2 of those. It gets funky up in there. And in Greensville is off the chain. Shit. I mean, Southampton, before they closed it, that was Gladiator School, man. I did my first 5 years at Southampton. That place was crazy. Powhatan. I mean, there's a lot of places that get it in, man. What's up, Shotty Clark, man? Gangland Magazine TV. That's pretty cool. Check that out. I ain't seen you before. Yes, sir, John Jay. Anytime, brother. How was our numbers at the time compared to everybody else? We were growing in Virginia. See, it started in Maryland, and I at the time was actually responsible for the main growth. Sweaty, thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much, sir. You're awesome, brother. You're awesome. Yeah, but we grew. When I left Greensville, we were pretty big there. We had around, at that place, I think there was about 30 of us, which for a predominantly white organization in Virginia is a lot. But here was the thing. We weren't the biggest, but I was very selective. See, I've always been the type of individual, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies any day. A lot of guys, a lot of leaders, a lot of big homies or whatever are going to just let anybody, I want 1,000 guys. But the problem is if you got 100 guys against 20 warriors, it's really, it's not fair. If you ever watched the movie 300, I mean, look at that. So I made sure that the guys that I had surrounding me was like me. I knew they had my back. I knew that they knew I had theirs. So when you get to thinking about that, though, you have to understand that when you are a part of an organization, whether you're at the top or the bottom, your actions are going to correlate for everybody. You can't just jump off the roof, and you can't just pick little fights because you got a small army behind you, because you have to think your beef is now our beef. So we might go out here and have your back. We're going to have your back. Right or wrong, we're going to have your back. But when the smoke clears, you got to deal with us now because you did some old bullshit. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, man. It's like you take on so many other personalities. You take on so many different aspects. You know, it's tough. And that's why you got to surround yourself with the right brothers, man. You have to be smart. Don't just sign up with a bunch of idiots because, and we've said this before, man, if your motives are not built on a solid foundation and your motives are not genuine, then your results are not going to be solid. Your results are not going to be genuine. I used to tell guys all the time, thank you, Nico Rodriguez, man. Thank you so much. I used to tell guys all the time, if you come to the church with a problem, make sure that you bring at least 2 solutions, or at least an idea, because you would want your guys to think. You would want your guys to, I don't want a group of followers, man. I want a bunch of leaders. I want guys that got their own brain. I mean, every organization has send-offs. You know what I'm saying? You need them. They're important to have in wartime. But for instance, if there was a group of our guys that was kind of doing a lot of dope, well, those are the guys that I'm going to send out first because they're a liability more than anything. Like being at the top, people think that you don't have a bullseye on your back. You got a bigger bullseye by being at the top than you do by being a foot soldier. Because you won't, not only do you have a bullseye on your back from other organizations, because most organizations are going to look at it as, you know, if we take the leader, we cut the head, the body fails. West Coast Graffiti's in the house, man. Y'all make sure you check out. That's a funny dude, man. He was a West Coast Graffiti. You are one of the reasons why I started this channel. I don't know if I ever told you that, but watching your channel really helped motivate me to do this. But when you are at the top, like I said, other organizations want to take you, especially if you're a good leader. If you're a great leader, it takes not only being smart and vigilant and all that, but you have to be a builder of men to be a great leader. You have to be able to take and mold these youngsters into what you need them to be in such a Bible situation. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to break people down to build them back up. You have to learn each and every individual's personality. What are their needs? What are they missing in their life that you can bring to them so they're ready to fucking die for you? So on the flip side of that coin is when you have all those other organizations at you, you're going to have some of those foot soldiers at you too because they want to beat you. How I got to my rank at that time was exactly that. And a lot of people have said, oh man, that was messed up. But the guy that brought me around, who was supposedly supposed to be top of the food chain, he wasn't moving right. He wasn't moving like a dog should move. So I took him out. And I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew that I was going to have targets on my back, but I was ready. Because at that time, Clayton Hockey Day, thank you, man. Much love, brother. You know, at that time, that's all I was worried about. I had put everything else to the side. I had put everything in my life to the side except for that organization. And the problem was when I had sacrificed and when I had lost so much due to putting in this work, the same individuals that I was ready to die for, that I thought ready to die for me, that I thought believed in what we were doing, because you have to believe in what you're about in order to be about something. If you don't believe in what it is, which is a lot of people who sign up with these gangs, and that's why they get exposed so fast. When I fell and they locked me up and the feds were looking at me, they come down. When you are in the head of organization, you know what they give you? They call you a homeland terrorist, and they give you a damn FBI file right next to Osama bin Laden, right next to all that shit. Like you're basically considered. That's why they call it STG, which is Security Threat Group. You are a threat to their security. So, when I was in the isolation unit at Greensville, because we went to war with the Aryans for control and power, and because they weren't moving right. You too, West Coast Graffiti, brother. Much love, man. Keep striving, homeboy. They locked me up. I was in a hole for almost 3 months, waiting to get shipped. My boys turned their back on me. I was getting letters. The guy that was supposed to be my partner turned his back on me. The dude that was supposed to be like my right hand, we had kind of took the reins together. He wrote me saying, bro, like, we just got to hit pause, and that's that. What? Because if it would have been the other way around, I would have been back there with him, because that's the type of guy I was. So, and the feds are talking about RICO. The feds are talking about sending me to the mountains. The feds are talking about fucking ADX type shit, y'all. Like Fed case, Colorado, underground, with the guys that had started this damn thing. So, I mean, the whole point of it was I felt betrayed by the brothers that I had done so much for, man. And and the question was, why did I walk away? And that was one of the main reasons why I walked away. Yeah. Make sure y'all please hit the like buttons, man. So, I mean, I'm glad we got this half hour to discuss things, and LLR to you too, Dylan. What's my input on pre-sentencing investigation? Well, as far as doing like the pre-sentence report type deal, I'm sorry, Patrick, bro. I apologize. I'll try to make sure that I stay with the same topic, buddy. My thing about pre-sentence reports is, I think it's just another way that the system kind of uses its leverage to make you out to be the biggest monster they can make you out to be. You know what I mean? That's what I think. All right, fool. So yeah, I got the kids here, man. They're just getting home from school, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here. But I feel like with pre-sentence report, just like anything else, you guys got to remember that the state has all these avenues against you. They have all these tools to make sure that you get a conviction. So what you need to be vigilant about, and what you need to remember, is that if you can find anything that helps you, that is a tool for you to maintain out here, then that's what you need to be focused on. It's just like boxing. My coach always tells me, don't go in the ring worrying about what that man's going to do to you. Go in the ring thinking about what you're going to do to him. So remember that. All right, Isaiah, Anna, take it easy. I don't know what's going on. I see something going on in the comments, man. Relax, relax, relax. But if you can find any type of positive direction in your life, when you come home from prison and you have these things that are stacked against you, seek them out. Lynn Miller, what's up, hon? Seek them out. Because if you don't seek them, then you might not find them. Okay? It's like a closed mouth don't get fed, man. Thank you, Jason. And if you get anything out of this, cool. Go to Facebook, check out Felons Embracing Freedom. We really help each other out on that page, man, for real. Felons Embracing Freedom. Check the page out. It's awesome. I've been doing it for almost a year now. Also, go on Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram, man. I really do try to hit everybody back. Sometimes it takes a little while, but I try to get back to everybody, man. Everyone have a blessed day. You know what I'm saying? And maintain that positive outlook, man. And what do we always say on Big Lance Off the Yard, man? What's the 3 things? I'm going to wait for it in the comments. Here we go. Here we go. What's our three word mantra? I know y'all, some of y'all OGs of BLC know it. PDD, y'all. Purpose, drive, and discipline, man. That's what we go by it. All right, and repetition, repetition, repetition. Okay, so make sure, man, that you have the purpose, drive, and discipline, and when you find something that does, do it over and over and over and over again, man, because then it becomes just habit. It becomes natural. Just like breaking the law, just like doing positive shit. It's all the same mentality, man. If your brain can wrap itself around it to do it repetitively, it's like eating, breathing, drinking. It's the same shit, y'all. This shit's easy. And hit me up on Instagram, as always. If you're new to the channel, I'm glad you're here. Hope you find everything you're looking for, man. And we are the real ones. The BLC, this family, this shit is real. And, we really do take care of each other here, man. So make sure you subscribe, like, notification bell. And as always, what's up? Prison rules are in effect. Stay humble and kind to each other in the comments, man. And I'm going to get up out of here, man. We're going to get some of this fresh air. So make sure you guys love one another, man. Peace.